All right, I will get started this morning. We are recording the webinar so that we can share it and distribute it via both LinkedIn and to contractors. Last time we did this, we shared it with several different customers and we're able to walk them through that. So any questions you guys have, certainly feel free to ask, but I wanted everybody to know that this webinar is recorded and often shared. Okay, so success is where preparation and opportunity meet. This pretty much encompasses all that's going on right now between the new refrigerant as well as the product changes in the industry. I think the best prepared people are going to be the ones that thrive in this world. Our goal here is to help everybody be as prepared as possible for this transition. And there are lots of updates to cover today, both in the Inflation Reduction Act as well as the AIM Act. They're different. The Inflation Reduction Act is the rebate tax credit-based program that is geared towards helping alleviate and offset the cost of electrification and decarbonization. The AIM Act, that's geared towards reducing hydrofluorocarbons throughout the world, essentially, but within the United States right now for sure. And then the last piece we'll do is some stocking strategies that we're doing at Base Solutions to make sure everybody understands what product is available today and when the new product is coming. Okay, so to start, understanding what's all available today. So there are a lot of different credits out there. There is in the developing space a credit, it's the 45L. That's for zero energy ready homes. It's referred to as ZERH because we love acronyms. In this space, it's $5,000 for single family and manufactured homes that are part of this homes program. So on that green box there, you can see homes. That is one of the pieces that's under the IRA. This is a facet of that, and that is for residential developers. So again, they can get up to $5,000 for each single family or manufactured home, part of that program, or $1,000 for dwelling units that are part of a building that's eligible to participate in this program. So there's quite a bit of money out there. An eligible contractor is anyone that may claim that credit who constructed the qualified home and sold or leased it to a person for use as residence. So either the builder or the owner essentially can claim that 45L tax credit on HVAC equipment is one of the arms, obviously, that can go into that and make a difference. Then we've got 25C, which everyone here is familiar with. 25C has been enacted for years. It was updated to reflect SEER 2 and new equipment and products. However, that is a core component of this. Then there's the HERE program. The HERE program used to be referred to the High Efficiency Electric Home Rebate Act. However, now they changed it to HERE. It's a lot easier to say, quite honestly. It's an easier acronym. But this is the rebates for electrification projects in the home. It is geared toward low income and moderate income households. And the standard on this program is the recipients have to fall below 150% of the area median income. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more because this program is not regulated at the federal level to the extent of how states roll it out. So several states have enacted it already, and through that, they have put different guidelines in place, and it's not consistent. So if you sell or install products in Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, and Indiana, all of the way this money is rolled out is different. Then there's homes. This is the home efficiency rebate program. And this is focused on that whole house energy saving retrofit. And this can be defined as a threshold of energy savings, whether you're doing windows, whether you're doing installation, HVAC, water heating. It's virtually anything in a home that is going to improve the overall energy efficiency. On the product side, they do have to meet Energy Star product criteria to qualify for this. But this is another program. This one is really geared at low-income households, people that have less than 80% of the area median income or the AMI. And this is done at the point of sale. And then the last one is 179D, and that's a tax deduction for commercial. So those building owners who increase their energy efficiency by at least 25%, we all know that HVAC is one way to do that. They're going to get 50 cents per square foot in a rebate back. If once they exceed that 25% threshold in energy savings, then it goes up 2 cents a square foot. And if they eclipse 50% or more, it goes to $1 a square foot. So 179D tax deduction. Again, commercial spaces designed for energy retrofits. All of those are part of the IRA. In addition, in our markets, we know that we also have local utility rebates that can be stacked on them where it makes sense, and that would be through ComEd, NIPSCO in Indiana, or Ameren, also in Illinois. So just to look at homes a little bit more, we haven't dug into this one as much, but there are multifamily applications and opportunities that do keep arising. It defines homeowners and aggregators. So an aggregator, that can be anybody, governmental, commercial, nonprofit, carrying out the project. So commercial contractors can be considered an aggregator. Residential contractors can be considered an aggregator. Anybody who's touching this project, you can see that there are dollars available. If you're doing single family homes, that's $2,000 or 50% of the project cost. Multifamily, that's up to $2,000 per dwelling unit. That is quite a bit of money when you think about the scope of that by putting a qualifying product into those buildings. So as projects come, it's really important that we are giving good guidance and advice because that's money that would be well spent. There is one note on an aggregator. So again, our contractors that can participate in this program, they do have to be approved by the state, and they have to comply with the state requirements. I looked up at the state of Illinois right now, and in the state of Illinois, we're so in flux on how all of this is fully being rolled out. They don't have that defined today, but something to think about to start to prepare for is to know that this is going to become available, and as it is, we want to make sure that we're able to utilize it and participate. So an IRA update. This chart shows you the different states and where they're at in their funding. So Illinois, I shared this last time, we have applied for funding in Illinois. Wisconsin has been both applied, and they have an active rebate program. However, if you go to their site and look at Focus on Energy site for Wisconsin, you can't actually do anything with it yet, but they got $150 million in funding. Now, the money was awarded to them, but as I said, it hasn't been distributed. And in their case, the HERE program only applies to low and middle income homes. Illinois, we have $264 million available to us. We only applied for $134 million for some reason. And so far, we've gotten $5 million awarded to us. You see that. However, we don't have any plans in place yet of what to do. What I do know is that our initial Illinois plans are to take 100% of that rebate that they get, and they're going to direct it towards low-income households. So those are people with less than 80% of the area median income. And they, of course, they reserve the right to change this at any point in time. They also want to give at least 10% of those funds to the multifamily space. So of that money that they're directing, the majority is going to be geared again at low income, and at least 10% is going to be multifamily. So I would imagine the idea here is to use this for projects in the city of Chicago, but more to come on that. And then the other piece of it is that they're not going to offer retroactive rebates. So once the program is live and they can meet the approval threshold, then we can participate. The reason I have the timeline on top is that all states have to apply by January of 2025. If they don't, then the money starts getting redistributed throughout the channel. So our number could go up potentially. For example, the state of South Dakota has declined. They do not want to participate in the program. So their money is going to be redistributed to other states. So you see several states there are preparing an application. If they don't get one in by that January 2025 deadline, then they won't be part of it, and then the program will go. So I would look to think this is going to start becoming live more so and truly executable in the start of next year, the first quarter. An idea of area median income, just a refresher, it's the same throughout the base solutions territory that we serve. It's $109,400. You can see the different components there, whether it is individual single family homes or we're getting into dwellings and what the loan limits are that would qualify for these programs. We'll continue to update this, but this is, again, one part of a public site you can go to. I've got the resources for everybody to go validate this. But the nice thing is, at least for our territory, it's consistent and it's one amount. But be familiar with the 80%, because that 80% is where most of our business and opportunities will lie. So this shows you how the IRA dollars in the HERE program would be executed. I talked about this earlier in the year. We thought we might know how it's going to work. This is how it will work. This is one part that's standardized across all states right now, is the funding model. So how it will start is they call it a home assessment. And in the home assessment, this is basically a contractor going into a home and doing what they do all the time. However, there may be more requirements in terms of trying to get an energy calculation while you're in the home, not just saying, oh, this is what you have today, Mr. or Mrs. Homeowner. We're going to put in the same thing, just new. Then there's an eligibility check. So here they're verifying that the contractor is eligible to participate. Also that the consumer's income enables them to be offered this opportunity. I checked in Illinois. Today, you cannot become an eligible contractor yet, but they do have stuff kind of in the works for that. In Wisconsin, you can go and actually take webinars on both the homes and the HERE program to become eligible contractors. So if you do sell or do work across the borders, I would look at each state and make sure if you want to participate, you are able to, because I believe you'll have to be a registered eligible contractor in each individual state. From there is a rebate or coupon creation. This goes right to the homeowner, so they receive an invoice for the cost, and a coupon is created for that consumer. Then you go and you put the product in the home. Okay, so you put it in, the homeowner validates it's there. The contractor is then rebated back by the state. So I'm sure everybody loves that because we know how timely the state of Illinois is at redistributing money back. And in the state of Illinois today, we have 2 people who are part of this program. So I hope they hire a team or at least another person to help redistribute these funds. But the contractor would submit all the information, and then the contractor would be paid by the state. Again, this is a process that is for all states, as far as I can tell so far. Several states have enacted this. New Mexico is another one of them it's off to the races. Rhode Island is off to the races. The process is consistent. What products qualify, as well as the income limits, are what varies. So again, if you're selling multiple states, make sure you check this. We do have the information for you as well to help support this. ComEd, just as a reminder, we do have pretty rich ComEd rebates in our market. They're not at risk of running out of money, so just know that. We met with them several weeks ago. Our leadership team went to a meeting, and they shared with us that they actually were down for the year in doling out money. We got our report last week from them, and there's still plenty that's been allocated to us to use. So when you have the opportunity to utilize this rebate, certainly do. Here are the requirements. As a reminder, and just remember that you have to have your techs go through training to qualify, and we will support that. We've been doing it all year. It's been pretty smooth, I will say, since after spring in terms of issuing these credits. If they are the residential credits, we do these at the counter. So these are instant rebates essentially for you guys and for the homeowner. We then go back and file these claims with ComEd as a service to everyone. Homeowner value, just a look here of if you were to offer this stuff to a homeowner, what does it look like today? These are 2 different York systems. The top is a R410A York system, and you can offer up to $1,200 in ComEd. NIPSCO, is not as rich of a rebate, but that system I listed there does also qualify for the 25C tax credit. And when the money is available, it would also qualify for the IRA tax credit. And that's that up to $8,000 for a heat pump that we talked about a second ago. And that funding model for the state of Illinois. The bottom one is a new 454B product. It's the HH8. So that is a heat pump. You can see the different SEER 2 efficiencies. These are three 3-ton examples. The indoor unit it's matched with today is ADP. We did this intentionally because they offer that flex coil, which can be done for 410 or 454B, or really any A2L actually, just depending upon the metering device you're using, as well as the refrigerant detection system. There's the furnaces. These are basic variable speed 80% furnaces that we stock. You see the EAR2 and the HSPF2 for the ComEd. In this world, it's a richer rebate of $1,400, and also again qualifies for the 25C and IRA. So we've got that new product rolling in, and we are working on tools to help communicate to you guys what you have available to offer a consumer. Okay, so on the commercial refrigeration, I wanted to give a quick update here. Our 404A in the commercial refrigeration space obviously is replaced. It has a GWP of over 4,000. The GWP threshold as part of the American Innovation and Manufacturing Act is 700. This is obviously a little bit too high. So there are two replacements. Chemours has come out with 449A. That has a GWP of 148 and super similar. And the goal of this refrigerant is designed to get the equipment to the existing end of life, basically. It is not meant to be a permanent future refrigerant. They also had been released on the Opteon side, 454C, as an alternative, and that's really geared towards new installations in the commercial refrigeration world. They also have a new requirement that is getting finalized now, but an RDS or an ALD, it's an automatic leak detection system, is going to be required for new equipment. However, in the commercial refrigeration space, they are looking to make it a requirement for older equipment. So if you do any commercial refrigeration and you have an install base out there, they are looking to potentially add leak detection systems to installations that were as late as 2017. So 7 years ago or more, you may have to go back and add leak detection systems too. Okay, quick update on just as a refresher, the American Innovation and Manufacturing Act. It has the three components. We are in the midst of the phase down of hydrofluorocarbons, and that's where our 410A falls into that world, or that 404A. The technology transition piece of it is what global warming potential each piece of equipment emits or has the potential to emit. And then there's refrigeration management, and that is tied to reclaim and licensing that we have, and venting, essentially. What I do want to note, and I found this interesting, is I've been on a bunch of other webinars to make sure I'm up to speed on all of this, because each channel, whether it's VRF or commercial refrigeration or residential equipment, has a little bit different nuances and rules. And what I did learn is that in the world of R410A and this phase down or the allocation of it, it is really a number that we can help make an impact on through the use of reclaim and really solid reclaim practices. So we're going to spend some time in a moment talking about that. But I do want to say that there are ways that we can make this easier on ourselves, and particularly in the space of both commercial refrigeration and our day-to-day ductless. If we recover and reclaim every pound that's humanly possible, it's not going to go against the different quotas that the manufacturers have. And that phase down is tied to a quota, right? So we're never going to not have 410A, for example. However, it's going to be restricted, the amount of supply that's led into our space. But if we continue to have really good practices, and then the quotas and what's available will be greater from a manufacturing level. So just keep that in mind, that we all can be part of this broader solution. I just covered this, so I won't go over it again, but I will go over the reclaim part. So as I said, this is the third phase of this process. On September 23rd, the EPA did announce a new final rule on reclaim. We were kind of waiting on it, and they established a new program that is geared at better managing the recycling, the reuse, and climate damaging HFCs under the AIM Act. The rule is called the Emissions Reduction and Reclamation Program. So you might see ER and R. And like I said, it was just finalized. There are several requirements I'm going to talk through right now, which are tied to this, which matter to all of us. The final rule is in the Federal Register. So this is going to happen once it hits the Federal Register. It's when everything starts to be enacted. Okay. So in the EPA's final rule, there are leak rates for the usage of and repair of systems containing a full charge of 15 pounds or more of an HFC. So 15 pounds or more of 410A, 404A, or if you substitute for an HFC. And that substitute, the global warming potential threshold is 53. So you can think back to 410, well over the 700 limit. You think of 404A, that 4,000 mark. Their substitute cannot be greater than 53. So that is a very, very low threshold. And that does exclude residential and like commercial AC and heat pump systems. The new leak rates are going to take effect on January 1st of 2026, so just over a year from now. And they have varying thresholds for each channel that we serve. So if you're in the industrial refrigeration business, that's 30%. If you're in the commercial refrigeration business, that's 20%. If you are in comfort cooling or refrigerated transport, and anything that's not really listed here, that's 10%. So it's going to be important to know what the varying leak rates are, because this is going to be part of a new program. Recovery. So most people, as a best practice, do recover the refrigerant today, but it's going to be a requirement beginning January 1st of 2028. In this situation, technicians have to send certain disposable cylinders to a Section 608 certified reclaimer. And once that happens, the contents are going to be removed. This is a Section 608 requirement, and the technician must be both certified to do this, and then they're going to have to evacuate a disposable cylinder to a vacuum level of 15. And then you're going to have to provide a statement to the final processor. This is a big change for us. It's done in the rest of the world. Actually, they have scanners and trackers on all of the refrigerant that moves around. In the US, we don't quite do that, but they're trying to implement this and see if we can get this managed through the channel. Reclaimed HFCs. So beginning January 1st, also of 2026, they can contain no more than 15% by weight. So of a virgin HFC. So again, we're really important for us to focus on the ability to reclaim. When we look at the service and repair world, they have to be reclaimed HFCs have to be used for servicing and repairing equipment. So we're not going to be using new HFCs starting in January 1st of 2029. So really the next couple years to start the year, we're going to be seeing some new things. And then you see the automatic leak detection system in ALD. Now this is geared at appliances. In our space, we have the refrigerant detection system, but I wanted everyone to be aware of it if you start to see it. The ALD systems were something I have seen tied to commercial refrigeration. So in our world, if you're doing commercial refrigeration and commercial, you may see two different leak detection systems that are available for the products. And then the last piece is record keeping. This is going to be one of the most important things that we do. Reclaimers are the people that have to keep good records. They're going to have to submit reports and label certain items. But really, the piece of this is you can no longer throw these jugs away. There's going to be a tracking mechanism out there. What that is, they have not defined yet, but it's going to make sure that the heels are actually recovered from disposable cylinders and not accidentally vented into the atmosphere. So that is coming. What this means for all of us is that reclaim is going to become the only option for some segments of the industry. It's going to be required that service gas be reclaimed gas. So get really good at that practice. And as I noted before, the really nice thing is reclaim refrigerant. So reclaimed 410A, for example. It does not go against the quotas that are in the industry. So if the industry says we can only have 10% of the global supply of 410A available, well, that's new. Okay, that 410A, it does not including the reclaim. So if you add reclaim into that, that's true supply of 410A is actually much greater, right? So we can help our industry in a more economical way by having really good best practices. At Base Solutions, we can help you with this. We did launch a partner program with Summit for our refrigeration reclaim. It has been pretty active. Now, just note the purity level on this has to be 97% at minimum in order for you guys to get a credit, and 80% for R22. You do need a DOT stamp on the tank. So there are a couple little requirements on that, but we're going to help you get rewarded for doing this and making this practice part of your standard business. And you can bring these to any of our locations, and we will consolidate them and send them out. Another way we can help make sense of some of this, and this is our selling resource, is the utility rebates and all of the rebates that are out there today. We will update this for 2025. We don't have the numbers, but as the numbers come through, we will make sure to share them with everybody. This is if anybody needs this, please let me know. More tools. So I keep preaching about ACCA's A2L training. It is not a hard thing to do. It's 5 parts. You can do this at your own and on your own time. Go ahead and register, get yourself certified for A2Ls. That's one piece of doing it. And then the other piece is we have been doing live training at Base. These classes have been filled. We're going to continue to do them. At this point, I don't think there's a such thing as being overtrained. While the equipment is not dramatically changing, some of the rules around how you service and install is, whether it be residential or commercial, and we want to make sure everybody is comfortable and up to speed on how to do that. Okay, so also thinking about how we're stocked and helping prepare you. So we are stocked up on R410A products today. If you're a commercial contractor, we have a lot, so please buy early and often. On the residential side, we have a healthy 410 inventory, and our goal is to carry us through the start of next year. So whether it's Bosch or York, on the residential side, we've got products for you, as well as third-party coils. In the ductless space, we have the Hitachi, the York, and the Bosch lines today. We are working on our overall ductless strategy of what will come for next year. However, expect to see those names in some capacity in the rotation, and know that we've got product today. For York Residential, we do have the HH8 heat pump in stock now. We are just waiting on those ADP coils I showed you to arrive. They've been ordered and should hit our dock anytime soon. We do have the RDS sensors in stock today that go with those units. If you're wondering what a cost comparison is for the ADP Flex coil compared to an ADP coil today, in some cases it's only $10 more. Now just note that's before the RDS system is added. So RDS, you're gonna have to pay to put that on. However, the coil itself has not gone up tremendously in cost. The YC3 or YC4, the air conditioners are going to be available this month from JCI. So as they flow into our building, we certainly will share with you guys and let you know what's coming. And then the new coils are released. We are waiting on our orders. The CTF is the upflow downflow new coil, and the XAM is the multi-position coil. But we plan to stock all of these products in Elmhurst and our surrounding branches and have them available for you. However, ADP was the first to get their coils out, so you'll see those hit us first. But the good news is they've got solid ratings, and if you want to transition into 454 sooner than later, certainly let your TM and store manager know. So we stock accordingly, but we are starting to flow that in. And as I said, we'll continue to have R410. In the commercial space, most every unit is available to order now in 454. And our team has been quoting that if you're a commercial contractor, most of every job you have going that really is January on is 454 probably quoted. We are working on our 454 stocking strategy. However, we did make a substantial investment in 410 to carry us. If you guys remember the packaged units, commercial packaged units and residential packaged units, those have a 3-year sell-through. So split systems, we have all of next year to sell through, but in the package space, we have 3 years. We're not going to have a 3-year supply. 410, that would be insane. However, we do have 410 to keep us going. On the commercial side, though, the core and the select or select choice units, they're going to ship first. So we'll be able to get those in the market first. So as you're starting to see opportunities come and quotes come through, we should be able to meet your needs on just about anything commercially, whether it is existing refrigerant or the new. And then, as I said, the ADP coils, they should be here anytime. We've had them on order. They're shipping out, and we've got the sensors ready to go. So just note, these coils you can use obviously in a 410 application, or if you're to apply it in a 454B, you will add that RDS sensor to it. And with that, that's all I have for today. It's a lot of information. I know there's been some major changes. I would say the biggest 2 changes are the reclaim ruling coming down and the guidelines around that. None of that will hit us yet until as early as 2026. However, we need to start practicing and thinking about those practices now to make sure that's standard for our business. And that 2026 isn't a shock and a rude awakening. And then the other piece is the actual funding model for the IRA dollars. As we figure out in Illinois and other states of how to distribute them, that model's at least been defined is what the process is. Any questions anyone has? Okay, well then thank you everybody. As always, this will be shared. The deck will be distributed, and the phone call and webinar will be archived for sharing. If anybody does have questions that they think about, certainly let me know, or anyone on our team, and we're happy to walk you through the changes. Stay tuned for next month. We'll do this again with more updates that come in, and hopefully have even a better look at the product that's hitting our docks. Thanks, everybody.